Today we are discussing a heartbreaking and enraging case that has sent shockwaves through the LGBTQ plus communities in not just the United Kingdom but globally. The senseless killing of Brianna Ghey has sparked Vigils, outrage and urgent renewed calls to address the rising epidemic of transphobia violence, hate crimes and lack of protection for the transgender community, especially trans youth. Welcome back to Bold Crime. Brianna Ghey, born in Warrington, England, was described by her family as a much-loved daughter, granddaughter and baby sister. Brianna was transgender and her family said she had been bullied for embracing her identity. On the morning of the 11th of February, Brianna received a text message from a girl named Scarlett Jenkinson, instructing her to meet at Colchester Library. At 12:45 p.m, she was seen on the video doorbell leaving her family home in Birchwood. She sent her mum a text message which read, she was going to meet a friend. She was then seen boarding a bus at Birchwood railway station at 1:38 p.m. She has never taken the bus alone, so sits close to the bus driver as she was feeling anxious. At 1:41 p.m, she texts her mum saying, I'm on the bus by myself, I'm scared. Her mum replies, that's well good. She was then seen on CCTV meeting both Jenkinson and a boy named Eddie Ratcliffe at the bus stop outside the library. At the time, both teens were 15 years of age. Brianna was last seen walking towards the park with her killers at 2:02 p.m. At 2:15 p.m, Brianna sent a message to her friend about Jenkinson where she expressed her anxiousness and suspicion. Brianna was attacked with a hunting knife in the park at around 2:30 p.m. She had been stabbed 28 times, mainly to her neck, chest and back. Her body was discovered at 3:13 p.m. by dog walkers. Brianna's body was face down and was described as bleeding heavily. The emergency services were immediately called. At 4:02 p.m, paramedics pronounced Brianna Ghey was dead at the scene. Officers recovered a knife believed to be the weapon used in the attack, and within 24 hours of her murder, police identified and arrested both Eddie Ratcliffe and Scarlett Jenkinson for murder.
Scarlett, this is what I've got to say.
Yeah.
At this moment, because the information I have received, you are under arrest on suspicion of murder. Obviously you are under caution, so anything you say is getting recorded. Okay?
If me being suspect is because I was the last person seen her, or how come I'm suspect?
Pardon?
How come I'm a suspect?
How come you're a suspect?
Because I'm the last person that's seen her, is it?
I don't know. All the information I've received is you are a suspect, okay, for the murder.
Yeah. You Eddie?
Yeah.
Eddie, you're locked up suspicion of murder, alright? You don't have to say anything, but you may harm you eventually, don't mention when questioned. See you later on in court, and if you do say evidence, do you understand?
Yeah, well, let's just unlock these.
I can explain everything.
No, listen.
Right, listen.
Do it all on into it, alright?
Yeah.
You're going to take it to the wrong corner, you'll be interviewed about it, they'll ask you questions, alright?
Yeah.
Police announced an investigation into all lines of inquiry, including whether the attack on Ghey was hate crime. On February 28th, Eddie Ratcliffe and Scarlett Jenkinson were formally charged with Brianna's murder after being questioned by detectives. The two teenagers appeared via video link at Chester Crown Court. Brianna's family said she had been bullied and faced discrimination for embracing her identity as a trans girl. Some theorise the horrific violence could have been motivated by anti-trans prejudice and hate. In the wake of this horrific crime, a heartbroken vigil was held in Warrington Town Centre where hundreds gathered to mourn Brianna, leave flowers, hold signs condemning anti-trans violence and demand justice. On the 15th of March, Brianna was laid to rest. Her funeral was held at St Elpin's Church, Warrington, and was attended by hundreds of mourners. In a pre-trial hearing, one of the two suspects pleaded not guilty, and at a later date, the other suspect pleaded not guilty as well. On the 27th of November, the trial began at Manchester Crown Court. Reporting restrictions were imposed, referring to Jenkinson as Girl X and Ratcliffe as Boy Y. This was due to the age of both teens. Jenkinson's defence portrayed the murder as a fantasy plan carried out by Ratcliffe, claiming she was shocked and afraid of him during the attack. On the 20th of December, following a 3-week trial, both defendants were found guilty of the murder of Brianna Ghey. On the 2nd of February 2024, the sentencing hearing took place at Manchester Crown Court. The judge emphasised the necessity of unrestricted reporting, marking the first public disclosure of the teenagers' identities. Psychiatrists provided updated assessments. Jenkinson was diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder instead of autism, and Ratcliffe with a mild form of autistic spectrum personality disorder. Jenkinson admitted to personally stabbing Brianna, despite initially denying the attack during the trial. Jenkinson and Ratcliffe were sentenced to life with a minimum of 22 and 20 years respectively, before being eligible for parole. Despite the gravity of the sentencing, both displayed a lack of remorse during the court proceedings. On the 7th of September, Brianna's mother launched a local campaign in Warrington to deliver mindfulness training in schools in the area, raising over £81,000 as part of a lasting legacy to her daughter. Brianna Ghey's life was stolen from her, her loved ones and the world in a horrific act of transphobic violence at the age of just 16 years old. The devastating pain, fear, injustice and loss caused by Brianna's death must continue driving all of us to build a society where trans people of all ages can live openly and safely. Brianna's light was extinguished far too soon, but we must ensure her memory lives on. And hopefully this will be a turning point for people to change their views and to embrace, protect, empower and enshrine trans rights as human rights once and for all. This is an incredibly heavy but important topic, so let me know your thoughts below. What more needs to be done by authorities, schools, communities and all of us to address this epidemic of transphobic violence? What actions and policies would help create safer, more accepting societies for trans individuals? I ask that you please keep the conversation respectful as we discuss this sensitive issue. Thank you for watching. As always, my thoughts are with the family and friends of Brianna Ghey.